Hello, friends and family, and welcome to the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge, presented by Innova. This is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Event and the first stop of the series. I'm Holly Finley.
And I'm Connor O'Reilly, joining Holly today in the booth, and happy to be here for day 3 of the LVC. We got some great weather today. We see Haley coming out focused and firing, Jessica also playing with some fire. And look at the leaderboard. Katrina, 9 strokes above Henna. Then we have a cluster of players getting close to 10 under par. And rounding out the leaderboard, we see Scoggins down there, still hanging out under par.
Here we are, hole 10, 381-foot par 4 with a couple of sand hazards in front of the basket. If you want to be very aggressive, you can attack this, try to get yourself an eagle. Otherwise, you just land anywhere safe, pitch up and take an easy birdie and move on to the next one. It's only 1 sand hazard, not 2. What's really tricky is the green here. It's a very small landing zone. Oftentimes it's better just to land away.
Those guys were hanging out for a while, so time to get back to the water for a minute. It's not common. It's not uncommon to have to chase some birds out of your line at some of these, especially some of these golf courses.
Haley King pro tip: you just got to be big. Stacy Rawnsley up first. Good, powerful throw.
Yeah, that green dish she's played is nice and overstable and has been very consistent for her. Hole 10 did play as the easiest hole in the course, so really just looking to get as close as you can to that bunker. Ideally, you can have some kind of a jump putt approach almost, because like Holly said, this green is super tight. And oh my gosh.
Wow, Haley King's in position to putt for an eagle up there. She skips out of the sand. That is crazy. I love the sand skip.
Yeah, she like slipped over the front edge and then out of the back, which you don't often see. So the sand was nice and packed for her. And I feel like a lot of these edges have not really had a lip on them, so it's been nice. You have been able to slide out of a couple of these bunkers.
Weese with a great shot that skips and unfortunately lands in the hazard, but you know, she's close enough to putt. So you can sort of make up that hazard stroke by making your putt, if you will.
Yeah, they got a good tailwind set up for this approach, so gonna make it easy to drop that putter onto our little postage stamp green.
Pro level upshot from Own, skipping out of the sand up to the green. And this is the danger of the green, as we see Stacy's shot just taking off with a lot of legs, doing a couple little dances there. It finally sits down.
And like I said, some of the ground play out here just doesn't really make sense. Like that just should have fallen over, and then it just curls back another 4 feet, wobble rolling.
Weese asking if she's outside. If you're not familiar with the rules, you can only jump putt if you're outside the circle. Weese cashing it.
Our second Flight Factory run back of round 3 and our first of the back 9. Jessica using that tailwind to drop her putter into the chains. She's been putting strong so far today. Ooh. Danger of putting back at this one is that hazard is almost always going to grab you if you do not catch some metal.
King for eagle. And hits the front of the cage, rolls into the hazard. An unfortunate turn of events. Let's see if she can shake it off and make this putt. No big deal.
Yeah, it helps take the sting off a little bit, but she definitely knows some strokes were left on the field right there.
Rawnsley will take a bogey here on the 10th. Own with a very accurate upshot. capturing an easy birdie.
Seems to be a bit more reserved today than in the past days, so I think she's feeling the pressure of day 3, wanting to position herself for that final day, possibly. And here we have a par 3 at 411 feet. The 11th is going to be a big power shot. Out of bounds fence up there on the left that won't come into play for the most part, as most of these ladies are looking to get a little bit of turn out of the hand and filter past this first tree leading into our green. This one did get moved a little bit right from years past and put onto this little pedestal just to add maybe a 10th quarter stroke of difficulty.
Scoggins with the flex forehand. She'll be landing over in the fairway, more to the right side, giving her a nice open approach to the basket. I find for me, the more left that I land, the more obstructed it seems, unless I'm closer to the fence. I don't want to be close to the fence. So as you mentioned, Weese with a bit of a turn on her disc. Kind of had a flex finish, so she might have a putt if she's feeling aggressive, and she looks like she is today.
Yeah, she's going to have that left to right to drop her disc out of the air once again on a 66 footer. This needs to stop. And gets fortunate on a tree. Wow. Haley's counting her blessings right now.
I thought you said the fence didn't come into play now.
I guess just for the real big throwers it will, especially if you have too much hyzer.
Yeah, Haley King, very capable of throwing well over 400 feet. Owen with the pig up shot.
That's her second one where she's hit the stanchion of the basket and rolled just outside the bullseye. Like I said, really hard to get inside that bullseye sometimes, just the way the discs react on the ground. Haley looking to get up and down and gets slippery once again. She
sneaks up there.
She's bringing the stuff and getting a little bit fortunate. That's what you need sometimes to shoot a hot round on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
That's the kind of luck you get when you're a major champion. Haley King for par. Solid putt.
Stacy has a bit of that branch maybe to navigate there. Oh, maybe not.
She looked like she was staring it down.
Yeah,
though.
it looked like she was. Maybe it just blocked her vision because of her height more so than her stroke, which that can have an effect for sure.
Par for Owen Scoggins, as well as Jessica Weese. The ladies will be moving on to the 12th. Super calm day out here.
Absolutely.
Easy to attack. And Haley King's doing it.
Jessica gets herself, remains under par, I should say.
Here we are on hole 12, par 3 at 354 feet. The cart path is not out of bounds on this hole, so there's no need to worry about that. There's a couple different ways you can play this hole. I like the hyzer route, swing it out to the right, let it swing back in left. You know, a forehand player could also swing in there and get a putt at it. It's also a straight shot. It's very wind dependent, but today is the calmest day we've had all week. Let's see if Owen Scoggins can get to the green.
Yeah, I feel like here you want to be anywhere but like circle 2 just in front of the basket straight because of that bushy tree, but everywhere else you should have some kind of a open putt at the basket.
Owen will have a circle 2 look at it. I feel like Jessica's getting businessy here. She's put the hair up. Is she getting more serious or what? That was a worm burner. Even though it got a good amount of skip, she's not going to have a birdie putt. She's going to be scrambling for par.
Maybe a little soft out of the hand for Haley here.
Yeah, she has plenty of power to get there. She'll have about a circle 2 look at it. I don't know if that would be a look. We'll see how aggressive she's feeling for that shot.
Stacy making an adjustment on that yellow disc that had flipped over on her earlier. And this time getting it to finish left. Not quite what she wanted though. Good commitment to the hyzer angle to get the skip on that approach.
Love the creativity in Jessica Weese's game. And Stacy Rawnsley showing us her creativity as well. She has a lot of different shots in her bag. She's good at the backhand and the forehand, and I see she's got a new putting stroke.
Yeah, I guess she wasn't lifting it over her head like that in the past, huh?
King for bird.
Ooh,
I loved that spin
she's playing
stab.
aggressive today.
Yes, she is.
Even in the right to left win, that's gonna be scary.
Scoggins for birdie with the CTP of the card. Doesn't quite read the wind correctly. It gets underneath the flight plate, kind of matching the direction of the flag, and she'll kite back. She'll have pretty meaty comeback putt here in a wind. Misreads that one. It lifts up. And that's annoying to be CTP and then, have to take home a bogue on the 12th.
No doubt. Definitely a birdieable hole, but that wind off the right shoulder on a shot like this gets tricky because your wing angle is very specific. You get it up at all, it's going to blow left, as we saw for Haley and Stacy. Jessica sneaks that one in there for the par cleanup. Stacy as well.
Whoa!
Oh, Haley kind of rushed.
I feel like she
one.
did. She just kind of stepped up real quick and went at it like it was a simple bag putt. It just needed a couple more seconds of focus. She let that one slip away. I hate to see it.
You at the least gotta set a visual focus. Take enough time to look at the basket for more than
a millisecond.
Upstroke. Yeah. And here we are on our dice roll hole. We have 258 feet of bunker tear. All three are playing as hazards. You have this out of bounds golf green to the right. OB path long that doesn't come into play as often as these bunkers will. They did trim up the branch in front of the tee here, allowing you to use a little more height coming in, making this one a bit more parkable than in the past. You kind of had to just slither out of the bunkers or skip it just off the green.
Jessica Weese up first, taking the hyzer shot. She clears the sand. Will she land safe in bounds? And she does.
Playing that wraith there. Definitely wanted to make sure to play something stable to get over those bunkers.
Stacy throwing the berg. Now we do have that out of bounds green over here.
Yeah, she just stands up a little too tall on that one. Doesn't set that hyzer angle enough. This one looks nice out of Owen if it can check up.
Woo! Ace run from Owen Scoggins. She'll have a birdie putt from about 15 feet.
That was very close to catching metal. Probably less than a foot from that front cage.
This could skip there.
Oh, but the wind is going to hold it up.
And Haley King lands in the hazard, but she's close enough where she could still save a par.
Stacy really showing how comfortable she feels with the forehand approaches, and yeah, looked to be in the bunker there. Unfortunately, we saw some sand kick up. This is one of those holes, you just need to commit to your shot off the tee and just kind of accept whether or not you're inbounds or not.
I see Jessica Weese changed her hairstyle again, so that one wasn't it. Man, Haley King's putting stroke, even though she's just missed a few here and there, overall today has looked so solid, super smooth.
Yeah, good to see her bounce back from that unfocused cleanup putt on the last one.
Owen feels good about that birdie after getting that Stupid birdogey on the last hole.
Absolutely uncharacteristic for her to have a 3-putt. Probably doesn't happen very often. Jessica keeping it clean. Looking to score maybe 2, maybe 3 more birdies before the round's over. Let's look for Haley to bounce back and score a birdie on the next one.
Hole 14, par 3, only 294. Sidewalk cart path on your left, out of bounds, but everything you see on the right is in. If you're feeling a little scared of the wind, you can just bell out to the right, pitch up, and take a 3. However, trying to be aggressive. We're trying to win the Las Vegas Challenge. It's only 294 feet. I'm expecting these ladies to get inside the circle and make some birdie putts.
Yeah, on this card, we're looking to have a minimum 3 shots inside the circle right now, especially with the wind looking to be off the left, maybe kind of tailwind. And Owen slides up into that circle on the short side.
Jessica Weese putting a bit of a flex on it. Is it going to get enough skip to give her a putt? And it does. She'll have a barely outside circle 1 putt at birdie.
Stacy a little more height, a little more hyzer. Gets it to move a bit left, but just lacking some power there. Rare to see for a player of Stacy's power level. She's really had some strong drives today, so maybe just needed to club down and swing a little harder to feel more comfortable here.
Haley King, even though her shot was low, she had enough power to skip well past the basket.
Yeah, definitely some misfires for a hole this easy, I feel like. We're looking...
Yeah, maybe you just don't want to flirt with the sidewalk, so, you know, the brain just makes you pull it a little further right than you want.
The miss is right side of the basket if you are going to miss.
Ooh, Stacy Rawnsley missing her birdie putt, as does Haley King. King catches a lot of chains, but doesn't quite connect. Let's see what Weese has for us.
Oh my gosh.
It was in and then it was out.
We see 3 great runs from circle 2 and all miss in just barely different ways.
Heartbreaker. Own Scoggins for birdie. Oh.
I bet you if the 3 of her card mates make that, the gamer that Owen is steps up and knocks that one in, but not able to connect there.
Hole 14, taking the lunch money today. No birdies on the card.
Yeah, they definitely left some strokes out. You'd expect to see at least 2 birdies, maybe 3 on a card of this caliber.
Everyone very capable of going well past the basket, but, you know, with that OB sidewalk so close, sometimes you just don't want to flirt with it.
Yeah, wind just holding those discs up more than they expected, I'd say as well. 4 holes to go. We're going to need some green to position for final day.
Another birdie would seal the win here. Yeah! For $35,000. Congratulations, Ricky Wysocki, your Pro Tour champion 2022.
Hole 15 is going to be a touchy par 3, right around 270 feet. The key feature here is this little hobbit hole that you got to come through to get into the green. There are a number of different routes here. Whatever you do though, you want to have your height in check, because it can be a tricky putt if you hit and knock down too short in front of the basket.
We do have the cart path left out of bounds. I see the hyzer shot is fairly popular amongst the FPO division. I like to call the MPO play is just crash into that tree near the basket and let the disc fall. Maybe you have a circle putt. Owen loves interacting with the crowd. If you're out at a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, please come spectate the women. We love spectators. We'd love to see you out there. Jessica Weese makes it up there for a putt as well.
Her and Owen going to have kind of a low ceiling. Might have to crouch or even think about getting on a knee on those putts.
Seen a lot of knee putts today.
Stacy going to need to catch those trees like Holly was talking about, but just fades in front. Another long putt, but she's had some good runs today, so let's look for her to cash this one.
We saw Haley King go lefty the other day. I feel like out of a pure sense of entertainment, today looks like she took it a little more serious, lined up that forehand.
Yeah, played the zone, waved to Casper. No, just playing. It's funny sometimes when you throw a good shot and you're looking for those claps, they don't come. You got to give yourself the hype. I love seeing that.
Owen and Stacy both giving it a run, not connecting.
Yeah, both having to get to that knee. Like I said, it's very short in this little gap.
Weese gives it a nice finessed forehand bid. I've seen her cash a lot of those over the years. Solid birdie.
Yeah, great pace. Wing angle was flat, nose was driven. That thing was money the whole way.
That was a strong putt from Stacy.
This is one of those greens you want to put it close, but sometimes those rocks will kind of chunk up your putter, so you want to come in with the low speed if you can.
Or use the player B putter.
Exactly. Have that back up in there. Spectator almost trips on that sign back there. Good balance, good balance.
Good recovery, sir. Hole 16 coming in at 533 feet. This is a par 4. I like to aim at this white pole you see and let the disc hyzer back to the fairway. Cart path on your left is out of bounds, and it's easy to throw a straight shot. Next thing you know, your disc is hyzered a little bit, 1 or 2 skips, and you're out of bounds. Also, your upshot is very tricky here. It's another one of those built-up greens. You see you go deep behind the basket. It's likely you could roll out of bounds. Things can get away from you quick on a green like that. Man, the wind has really picked up.
Yeah, all of a sudden we see the biggest gust of the day, and Haley's disc hits a lot of edge, but luckily gathers in bounds. That big dead tree up there, if you can land somewhere by the base of that, you're pretty happy. And Owen looking to stay out of the bushes, and she does.
It's a good shot from Owen Scoggins.
Jessica going back to that big forehand. This time it looks like a roller, and that looks like it's going to work out nicely. Showing the creativity and the versatility in her game, and really weird crown play.
I feel like Jessica has every single shot.
She really
if
does.
I was going to choose a group and skill shots, I would pick up Jessica Weese. Stacy Rawnsley with a nice, powerful drive. We've seen this green driver work wonders for her today, and she is way out there.
Yeah, throw that one a little more, Stacy.
She says it only took 16 holes. Stacy's got a great sense of humor. And Weese could attack the green from here, but that one's kind of getting away from her, going towards the spectators.
Ooh.
And we don't even look over there. That's not even a place you think about. And unfortunately, she finds the cart path right out of bounds. Let's see if Scoggins can stick the green. I like how low it is.
Oh, that needs to flop a little more.
She's short, out of bounds.
That thing was flat so long and just hooked up so heavy at the end.
Everybody had such great drives. Haley King sneaks up there to the green. She'll have a putt at birdie. Wow, Stacy's drive was way up there.
She comes in a bit hot. Let's see if she checks on the hill there. I don't think it had too much angle.
I was like kind of right here, and I don't think you got over.
Yeah, I think they have the right call, pulling Owen back here.
As we saw from the footage, that's exactly what happened. But sometimes from that far away, you don't know unless there's a spotter.
For sure.
Jessica Weese speaking up and telling where Owen to take the lie from. That was a good stick. A lot of times you can hit those bricks and catch just a roll. Let's see if King can get her birdie putt here on the 16th.
Just an inch low on that one, and yeah, you can see the look on her face. She wanted that putt. Hasn't been as hot on the back as she was on the front.
No, and Stacy also missing her birdie putt after a phenomenal drive. As you mentioned, that upshot came in just a little hot. It's so hard to get, within the bullseye on this green. It's such a small landing zone. It's easy to just overcook it, slide out the backside. Next thing you know, you got a 40-foot uphill putt.
There's so many uphill putts out here, and it really changes the weight shift you have. If you're used to having a wide stance, putting a lot of weight back on that back leg, it can make it a lot harder, and it can make it easier to be a straddle type putter, because doing that kind of stork one leg putt, creeping that back leg in, can be tricky sometimes.
2 pars, 2 bogeys here on the 16th.
The Willow Tree hole, our second 333-foot par 3 on the course. I do have to say, my alliteration loving self and the pattern loving in me just likes to see when you can creep in that 333 or that 444. If you're within a few feet, might as well do it. It's kind of fun.
I thought the same thing when I described the hole earlier.
This one elevated on that chain once again, so something we don't see, I don't think, anywhere else on tour.
Haley King up first, looking to get inside the green and make a birdie putt. Very reachable hole. And she's inside the circle.
That tree looks to be blocking her line. Let's see if she has to straddle one way or another. That can make that difficulty of that putt way harder than being a meter either side.
Stacy showed us earlier she has the power to get there and then some. I'd like to see that a little closer, though, if you're looking at a putt.
Owen using a little extra run up there, and this one looks like it's going to skip over nicely. Also right there is Stacy. Those are going to be long putts on a tricky basket. Let's see how aggressive they get.
I think it's funny when there's just the entire golf course to utilize, but the discs are hanging out within a centimeter of each other.
No doubt.
Jessica Weese rounding out the throwers here on hole 17. And she'll have a long putt at birdie too, so it's going to be how aggressive are these ladies feeling. This elevated basket might force you to lay up.
And even Owen laying up, that's very rare to see out of her. But not a bad business decision. Not necessarily in position to win, but definitely in position to start off the season on a solid note.
Stacy didn't want any taste of that. Haley King for birdie. Oh man, run it back. Flight Factory, thanks for sponsoring this. Haley King smashing that birdie putt here on hole 17.
Like we said, had to straddle out to the right, showing the kind of putts it takes to be a major champion in our sport. You really have to be aggressive on almost all situations around the green.
And those willow branches, oftentimes they're so thin and wispy, you don't even see them until you move just right in the light. They call it Jessica Weese's putt. She'll be tapping in her par.
She definitely was giving that one a softer bid than we'd seen today, but yeah, you'd like to see whether or not that branch had enough effect to change the outcome. One hole to go, and it's going to be a tough one. Let's see if we see any birdies.
Here we are, rounding out the day, hole 18, only 301 feet. It's a very tricky hole. The wind is often raging harder here than most places on the course. Also, because you have that cart path that you can visibly see off the tee, it can sort of psych you out. Also, you have a string OB on the right side. Almost plays in an island hole. Oftentimes you can send a hyzer shot and end up behind a bush. You have to do sort of a trick upshot just to get into the green. Let's see, Haley King with a forehand off the tee. Because there's not much wind, this is an ideal play.
Wow, a lot of snap on that forehand. Makes this hole a lot easier if you can throw an attack with a left to right moving shot.
Haley King will be putting for birdie. And Weese taking the turnover route. Is it gonna stay in? Too hard of a finish, and she is out of bounds. I mean, that same shot would have worked on the right side.
Yeah.
All right, Stacey Rawnsley taking this hyzer shot. Say this is the most popular route. She cut that corner a little early. Hopefully she's in bounds.
Yeah, pushed through the branches just enough, looked like. Didn't knock her straight down. Own, we know she wants to score here.
It's a little low. It's a little too low out of Own. Scoggins doesn't make it in bounds. She'll be throwing 3 from the drop zone.
Owen just didn't quite find her rhythm today, but don't expect to see that again. And Jessica kind of skips it through the foam topper on that pole. That was interesting.
Rawnsley throwing second. She was safe.
She really leans on that forehand heavily in that 100-foot range, and I didn't know that about her game. I knew she liked it, but I didn't know how much.
Haley King capturing a birdie here on the 18th. That's back-to-back birdies. What a great way to finish out the day. And that is so uncharacteristic of Own.
Yeah, I hope whatever she's been feeling today, she shakes off and comes out strong for our final round here at the Las Vegas Challenge.
Weese connects for her bogey putt. Rawnsley tapping in a par to finish off her day.
And Own looking to get off the course, forget about all the bad, and remind herself how good she really is at this game. If you're not already subscribed and like to Ace Run Pro, go ahead and do it right now. Also, don't forget to go check out Holly and myself on Instagram. I am as well on YouTube pretty heavy. I don't know about you, Holly, but
I have a channel. You can check it out. I have a few pro tips. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. Ella Hansen has jumped into second place. Missy Gannon in third. Haley King with an incredible round. She's in fourth, tied with Henna Blomroos. If you're out in Las Vegas, please come by the vending tent. I have some merch. I appreciate you guys following along here this week. We have such amazing, talented athletes in our FPO field. Katrina is really going crazy out there. She's still in the lead of the tournament, but you know, it's anybody's game, especially if the wind and rain come out tomorrow. So we hope you spend some time with us on Sunday for the final round of the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge.